Welcome to the 2024 NCAA Swimming and Diving. Oh, wait, nope. We're at the 2024 GB Aquatic Olympic Trials, actually. Yep, there it is. That cow cap got me confused there for a second. For the most part, things went smooth as butter at the GB Olympic Trials. I mean, just look at this graphic. Smooth. Butter. Smooth. But as we finished up that men's 100 backstroke B final that you see on the screen, he got ready for the para-Paris final in the 100 backstroke. Yep. These lads are going to be waiting around for a little longer than they expected. Things got a little interesting. And from a content perspective, I don't really mean interesting. I mean awesome.
This room is a absolute mess, by the way. Absolute mess.
Now you look at this room full of lads ready to fire off a 100 backstroke and you wonder why? Why, Kyle?
Why? Kyle?
Why aren't they letting them swim? Why aren't they letting them swim, and why are they so drippy? More on this later, but I will show you why they are not letting them swim in 3, 2, 1. Boom. Broken lane separator. Lane separator is broken, and springing into action is the facility crew trying to get this under control. Not springing into action is the guys that wish they were swimming the 100 backstroke by now. So now what we get is what a broadcaster fears and has nightmares about, and what a person sitting at home probably has dreams about. And it is getting to watch a production team and the on-site crew trying to figure out how to fill 10 to 15 minutes of completely unprepared for dead air. And before we get into the rest of this video, I think they did a pretty good job. Dead air filling move number 1 from the crew is a classic. Preview the next race, since that's what we, had queued up anyways, while we try to figure out what the hell to do next. We then get the classic cut back to the board friends in the ready room, and then cut to a hilarious panning shot of a beautifully intact lane rope as we transition into dead air filling move number 2. Para swimming, for people that are even swimming fans, can be confusing at times. So why not use this moment to help educate and prepare your audience for what they're about to see? Explain the classifications and just give a little bit more depth into a part of swimming that isn't given as much light. I think it was incredibly impressive, quick thinking from the crew, but will it be enough? That is the question. No, not even close. I wouldn't be making this video if the rest of the video didn't just continually get better and better and better forever. Bring out the t-shirts, bring out the t-shirt gun. Let's keep this crowd locked in. GB Paralympic legend Ellie Simmons sprung into action and was firing shirts into the crowd at either Mach 10 or Mach 0, while the on-site crew had a much less fun job to deal with. If you don't know how a lane line works, by the way, it is essentially a bunch of buoys on a metal string. Just a bunch of buoys on a metal string that keep you in your own lane, as well as help break up the waves in the water. So each of those buoys has kind of like a paddle on it, the nice ones at least, that helps just break up the waves, because you're in water, you're not in air, waves can cause problems. But when that metal string breaks, those buoys are jailbreaking and going for a swim, so the crew has a few tasks to take care of as quickly as possible. Task number 1, stop the bleeding. Buoys are going to fall off that rope quick. Task number 2, get the buoys into a bucket. And if this ever happens again, I know who to call, because this young lady is making quick work of these water donuts. Task number 3, bring out a fresh lane rope and swap it in. All the while, we're still firing shirts into the crowd. This guy almost gets his head taken off by a GB Olympic Trials Comfort Colors t-shirt. And this Paris final is still wondering if they have time to knock out their taxes or something. I don't know. At this point, they're probably just really bored. The squad on site gets things under control. Our number 1 buoy remover decides to go over the lane line. Absolutely wild move after what we just witnessed. Can you imagine for just 1 second the chaos that occurs if that lane line breaks again? The chaos that takes place. I mean, we've had these guys, our Paris finalists, waiting for about 15 minutes at this point. Another lane line breaks, and I'm headed back to start my warm-up all over again. I'm headed back. I'm just starting over. Buoy remover number 1 opts for the submergence technique on round number 2. And finally, we get the lads moving. We get to meet potentially the drippiest man in Paris swimming, Louis Lawler. He ends up taking 4th in the long-awaited final, with William Ellard taking the W and beating my best time in the 100 backstroke by a good bit. And we have our conclusion to this wild micro event that took place at the GB Aquatic Swimming Trials. Now, this event was awesome. I got to watch the production, and as someone that sits in a production seat from time to time.
How has your training playing Mario and Sonic at the Olympics on Wii helped prepare you for a big meet like this?
I felt a little bit qualified to come in here and not necessarily poke fun, but just kind of show what really takes place on site and on stream when something like this happens. Because when you go into an event, you're hoping for perfection. In the back of your mind, you're kind of ready to fill time if you need to, but you're never fully prepared for something like this to take place. So to see them go from showing who's going to swim in this final again, preview again, shot of the ready room, and then kind of story tell their way through this event and have fun with it, I was highly impressed. I was highly impressed with the swimming that took place at the GB Aquatic Trials, highly impressed with the production, and even more highly impressed with the t-shirt guns, the storytelling, and the ability to keep people engaged in a moment that could have been 15 minutes of dead air if you are 90% of other people streaming this meet. Hats off to the crew. I think this is one of the funniest pieces of content ever. I hope that they see it the same way. That's really it. Thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button. Drop a comment letting me know whether you call it a lane line, a lane rope, a lane separator, or a bunch of buoys on a metal string that, if broken, can cause chaos at a swim meet. And I will see you in the next one. I'm talking very bouncy. I need to clean this room. Thanks. Bye.